Hey, it's Vic with MsVix. I am navigating the challenges of chronic illness in my life and business. And today we are trying to find an order that has not been found in its place. I'm sure you can relate. Let's see what happened. Stick around to the end to see what happens to this missing button. It's an antique bird flying to a flower. It is a picture story button. It's metal. It's from the 19th century or so. And I had it in a bag. And here are the pictures I took. You can see it is a rather large button, a shank button, that was in somebody's collection. Now I went to the bag in the box that I had recorded on my SKU, my custom SKU in my eBay listing, and pulled out the bags that have the buttons in them. So I've already been through all of the bags once, and I'm going back through them again. Now these are from someone's personal collection, someone I knew personally. So this is a consignment situation, helping out their husband after she had passed. As you can see, there's all sorts of buttons. She was a very prolific collector of buttons. And I had actually never seen these before. She showed me her collection and thought that it was absolutely fantastic. According to a Gemini AI Google search, picture story buttons, also known as narrative buttons, were a popular form of entertainment in the 19th century. They were small, round, or oval buttons with pictures on them that told a story. The stories were often based on popular literature such as fairy tales and adventure stories. Picture story buttons were made from a variety of materials, including porcelain, glass, and metal. They were often hand-painted or decorated with lithographs. The buttons were typically worn on clothing or collected in albums. They were a relatively short-lived phenomenon, but they were an important part of the 19th century popular culture. They were a way for people to enjoy stories and images, and they helped to spread literacy and education. You can see some of her buttons were tinted. She has a wide variety of large buttons and small buttons. I've got multiple bags of her buttons, and I still have more to list. These buttons are fairly good sellers on eBay. I would suspect that there is probably a Facebook page, but I have only put them on eBay. I have also been putting her collection of tie clips and stuff up on eBay as well. Some of the more ornate buttons have tiny faceted and polished steel studs fashioned to resemble gemstones and then riveted in place. These are called steels and were an innovation originating in the 1700s. As you can see in my video, we are getting towards the end of my pile of beautiful little narrative story buttons, picture buttons, which have all sorts of different themes. We got snakes, Egyptian, fairy tales, heads of people, animals, flowers, silver, brass, gold, tones. Actually, that little blue snake one I had just sold too. There's some steals on that one. Got a couple that match. I've got some etched ones out of seashell. So we went through the box, look at the bottom to see if anything fell out of the bags. And of course, nothing fell out of the bags. So you know my heart is racing now because I'm going to have to swallow this defect. I did a search on eBay and it turns out I sold this item a year ago and it was not removed from my inventory.